Right, that's us recording.
Is it on?
Yes, it's on.
First ever episode of what we have now suddenly named the Allegedly Thriving podcast.
Allegedly thriving, is that what we decided?
Yes, well, I've decided it now.
Brilliant.
So
It's our newborn baby.
it's, oh God.
Literally 2 minutes old. I think it's already shut the bed.
It's about how two people who are in business, aka me and you, I'm conscious no one really knows who we are at this point,
No, that's fine.
that are considered thriving, but are we just surviving
I think it's a good question.
on the week to week? But do you want to introduce yourself
Yes.
as an allegedly thriving human being?
Well, surviving. Let's go with that.
Okay, so you're
Yes,
more
I'm
surviving.
Martin. I am a photographer in the northeast of England. And you are?
Martin. No, I'm joking. I am Issy, and I am a business person / video editor based in the northeast.
Excellent.
And I think I am thriving and surviving all at once.
I would say you're definitely thriving at the moment.
Do you think?
I think in the last week I've been surviving.
Is this going to be the whole podcast?
Yes.
Really, because I feel like I've been thriving
Okay,
and
great.
surviving.
Well, I've been surviving because I went to that event last week and had massive imposter syndrome and took a massive downward dump. That sounded awful. I just kind of went a bit down for a couple of days, but I'm back now and it's all good.
But yeah, I mean, I feel like for me, in what I do as a business person / video editor, which will be forever my title on this newborn podcast,
Brilliant.
is that I think that the reason why, well, part of the reason why I think we decided to do this podcast is because the perception, and that's a word that I know you wanted to explore, perception of thriving or surviving is very key. And I think a lot of people out there at the minute feel like everyone is thriving all the time. Everyone is out there doing fantastic, achieving everything they want to achieve. But actually, we all feel like we are just surviving.
I think that's fair. I think everywhere you look, people will only post or only share successes. People very rarely share failures or lessons learned, apart from longer form. So I think YouTube has got quite a lot of content. They make a lot of content because actually on YouTube, failure sometimes does sell. But short form, no, nobody wants to hear about things going wrong. Unless it's one of those silly little hooks where they go, oh, this went terribly wrong. Oh, no, but somehow I still made 50k out of it. Yeah.
So what, thinking about your alleged thriving, name a point in your life where you considered yourself to be thriving.
Ooh.
And a point in your life where you just considered to be surviving.
Oh, that's a difficult one. I think I've been surviving my whole life.
Oh God, this is getting dark.
No. Genuinely, I think I've been surviving my whole life.
Life is a battlefield.
I think personally thriving, probably for the last 5 or 6 years, after quite a long period of just surviving. There's a whole different story there we don't go into. Well, we can, but not now.
Our listeners have known you for all of 5 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, first marriage. That, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I think business-wise, I was doing fine, and I was thriving in a job, but I was bored with it.
Yeah.
So then 18 months ago, I went fully self-employed, and I've kind of been up and down in terms of thriving and surviving with all of that, because I'm surviving money-wise, but I'm at times thriving creativity, and then having some weeks where I really struggle with any kind of creativity, and I just think, oh, I'm useless. And then I go back to pulling myself up and trying something a bit different and getting creative again. So I find that kind of creativity is very up and down. It's very much like a sine wave. It's definitely not in a continual upward trajectory all the time. But I'm having fun exploring creativity. And I've tried a lot of different things. I've tried sketching, I've tried painting, I've tried all sorts.
Being a photographer, I think that's pretty key. It was the first time I met you. Within about 2 minutes, you were talking about how, what was the word you used? You basically...
I was trying to flog a dead person. Yes.
And then I was like, okay, I'm sold.
So for context, Our listeners will not
Not an
have a clue.
actual dead
No,
person.
so for context, I run a small online art retail company based around the works and products of a gentleman called Terry Harrison, who sadly passed away in 2017, but he was very well known English landscape watercolor artist in the UK and abroad. So I'm basically just surviving off his legacy through an online
Or
business.
thriving.
Surviving.
Okay.
Because again, the challenges are, this business has continued ticking over after his passing quite well, but his name is no longer out there. His notoriety is fading, and that shows as a reduction in sales and income coming through. So, when I met you, I was in a position where I was trying to develop myself and develop my own creative photography business, but also come up with ways of trying to market and increase the profile of somebody of whom I have no new material. I have got nothing. There's just a legacy of a dead person. So therefore, I was flogging a dead person.
Well, yeah, you weren't like weekends at Bernieing, but weekend at Bernie'sing him.
That's like an R-rated version of Weekend at Bernie's, though, right?
Yeah, you weren't like, do you want this dead person? Yeah, I'll take it. Yeah, no,
Oh, you've basically gone 50 Shades of Bernie, right?
no, that could well.
Right, that's just gone really
there's
weird.
The dead person in this. No, but so I guess when you said that to me, I was like, right, okay, this is that. Colour me intrigued, and then really from there, I think that because I was speaking at that event, and you see me speak at many after that. I think your perception of me was at the time, wow, this lady's got her life together, and gradually I have defeated that perception quite a few times.
I thought you were an accomplished business owner, clued up with what was going on, knew exactly what was happening, really confident, and now I know you're just a gibbering wreck all the time.
So over time, thankfully, I have grounded myself.
That's made me feel so much better.
Exactly, and that's the thing. So you started flogging a dead person. I started off relatively successful and gradually have gone downhill. So
no, you're just
whether there's a connection there.
You're just as successful. You're just more real.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing is that like because my business. So for me, the time when I'm going to answer my own question here now. So the time I was thriving, the time I was surviving, is for me when I look back at. So I run a video production company with my dad, and I now own a studio which we're sat in right now, which is lovely, and this is a podcast studio, and I've worked in the video production industry with my dad doing Howl Media for about a decade now, and I think that I started doing that when I was very young, and my perception of thriving back then may have been, oh, I've won one 300 quid job, excellent, that's going to pay at least some of my bills this month, to, ooh, okay, I can afford to do X, Y, and Z, or that now feels like small fry, and then things get bigger as you go. And so my perception of what's considered thriving over the years has changed, depending on the projects I do and what I learn. And then some things, don't get me wrong, some things in my career make me want to scream into a pillow and never want to leave my bed ever again, and other things make me want to jump up for joy and do a little giddy happy dance when I see something working. And I think that I experience the highs, the lows, and everything in between. But when it comes to survival, I have the ultimate survival thing, which is that I have a toddler as well.
Oh, I see. I was about to ask you that.
So I have a 2 nearly 3-year-old at time of recording, who basically when I had my daughter, I was thrust into the world of being a self-employed business person and parent all at the same time, like editing and working with a 10-day-old in my arms. I had no idea what I was doing with. Literally, I just tried to keep her alive, and that was about it. But that concept of survival, where my entire life, everything I knew, everything I built, had just kind of just not fallen apart, but was completely alien to me. I had a whole new life overnight, and then I had to really kind of rebuild that and figure out who I am now. And I think every parent goes through that. I think every person goes through that at some point in their lives for whatever reason, one or the other. But yeah, so and trust me, there are days where thriving is just surviving.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, where it's like actually just literally getting through the day with some semblance of success, aka getting dressed and feeding oneself, and my small human is considered a success. And other days where that's just literally just a normal day. So yeah, that's my kind of perception of thriving and surviving. But at the same time, I think that when you've got a brand, or when you are the brand, so if you see me online, or if you see my other podcast, looks like we made it, which has been out a while.
Oh, you've just got so many of these podcasts.
Subtle plug is that there is you have to put on a certain act. I think you have to convey a certain standard all the time, and actually, like, the reality sometimes, the imposter syndrome, like you had last week, is very real, and I think a lot of people don't get to see the other side of it.
So how, out of interest, how did having a child change your whole attitude towards work?
Deep now, hasn't it?
I'm more interested in terms of, I'm more interested in terms of your output, in terms of, you know, your editing, the style, the quality, not the quality so much, but
it's only ever gotten better.
Your style, you know, did your style of output change in any way?
No, I think that for me, my skills, like, I didn't ever get rusty. Like, you know that feeling when when you were a kid and you were at school, and then in summer you go away for like 6 weeks and come back and forget how to write, and like the feeling of holding a pen would feel weird because you hadn't done it for so long. Like, I didn't have that feeling where I was like sat in front of my laptop and I suddenly forgot how to edit or whatever it was. For me, I had a bit like what happened in COVID, a perceived idea of what work looks like versus actually the end product. So it's like the perception of, during lockdown where everyone was working from home and everyone had their bookcases as their backgrounds and whatever, but there was a perception before then that you had to be in an office and you had to be doing the 9 to 5 and you had to be clocking in and, getting the underground to wherever and doing that whole kind of thing. And then everyone realized, actually, you don't have to. For a lot of businesses, you can be flexible, you can work from home. It doesn't matter if you work in your pajamas or you work in a full suit, as long as the job gets done. That perception kind of stuck around for a bit, and then we stopped having COVID and we were like, right, okay, now let's pretend that never happened, get your clothes back on and get to work. And then that perception came back. And for me, when I had my daughter, is that it felt a bit like going into lockdown, because it was like, oh, I still have to work, I still have to deliver, I still have to do all these things. But let's be realistic here. I have to deliver the end product. It doesn't matter what I look like doing it. So it was a lot easier before she could walk, like when she would just like lie there like a potato. Like, newborn babies are basically just potatoes with eyes and ears and mouths and stuff. Like, when she just lie there, I just kind of get used to editing on a laptop on my lap versus having to drive to an office and sit at a desk and do all this. Blah, 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 blah. But like, it didn't matter if I was editing in a dressing gown with my glasses on and no makeup on the sofa, or I was sat at a desk wearing nice smart clothes. The job got done.
I kind of feel this segment would work a lot better if I had a child as well and was able to relate.
You do have pet children.
I have pet children, but they're not the same.
But so what?
They're not the same.
But
you know what I mean?
What is it people say? Fur babies. Is that a term?
No, I don't call them fur babies because I'm
fur children. That sounds creepy. That sounds like you're some kind of woodland monster.
No, you're making me out to be some kind of woodland monster. What I'm saying is,
fur children.
I like having animals around the house. I don't call them fur babies because I don't believe I fall into that demographic of people that call them fur babies.
Okay, good, because I'm not that. That's why I was confused at the start.
And I would probably be saying what I think the demographic is, but the microphone is live, so I better not.
We only have one listener so far, and they may turn off. Right, we got to keep them here. But what are your pets?
I have a dog. I have a border terrier called Gilly, who's nearly 10, and we have 3 cats.
Oh,
and a chicken.
And it's one chicken.
One chicken, unfortunately. There's only one left.
Oh no,
That's
were more
fine.
chickens.
There were more chickens, yes.
You didn't eat them, did
we
you?
rescue battery chickens.
Oh, that's good.
And we give them a nice coop and a nice run, and then they survive for anything between 6 months and 4 years.
And then what do you do with the dead ones?
You double bag them in a black bin bag and you put them in the bin.
Oh.
Because you don't bury them.
No.
Because the foxes will get them.
Oh, see, that's interesting. I didn't.
But
think
at
of
that point, it just becomes the same
how
as what.
unceremonious.
Yes, but it becomes the same as what would you do with a chicken carcass that you'd finished after Sunday dinner.
Hopefully, that's what
You know
people
what I mean?
do with me when the time comes.
What,
Double bag,
double back you?
shove me in the bin, just so the foxes don't get me.
No, so yeah, you get used to chicken. So my wife is amazing. She's like a little chicken whisperer, and she has brought chickens back from death, from like the brink of death a couple of times.
Oh my God.
So we've had a chicken in the living room for 2 weeks once, just there in a towel, not doing anything because it was nearly dead, and she's feeding it and she's looking after it and making sure it's all clean, and she comes back and stuff. So she's managed to make a chicken survive, 2 or 3 near-death experiences before.
That's amazing, because imagine that chicken. Its entire family is probably being slaughtered around it for KFC, and it is literally being towel wrapped and fed and.
Oh yeah, so battery chickens at 18 months they don't lay as much, so they are basically all culled at 18 months. And there is a charity called Fresh Start for Hens that goes along with articulated lorries and empties battery farms out 20,000 chickens at a time, and they have a network of volunteers that then distribute those across the whole country.
Wow!
So I'm waiting on a batch. I've got 4 ordered, £2.50 each. And,
wait, so you order chickens like an Amazon delivery?
Well, not quite like that. I apply for them, so I'm on a waiting list now. And when
when they arrive,
imagine like the end of Chicken Run where they're all in the van and they're leaving. It's like that. But
how do you get to choose which one you get?
No.
And how
we go to a local pickup point, and there will be an enclosure with hundreds of incredibly scrawny, barely feathered chickens running around terrified, and they will grab 4 of them and we'll put them in carriers, and we'll then take them back to our house in our allotment, and we will partition the allotment so that the existing chicken or chickens are kept separate, because chickens are incredibly territorial and they are vicious. So they are a direct descendant from T-Rexes.
So they are 100% surviving at this point.
Oh yeah, they are vicious. So you've got a thing called purple spray. Because,
how did we get onto this?
I don't know. You started it. If chickens see red, they just peck at it continuously, all the time. If they see the colour red, they will just peck.
Same.
So if you put tomatoes in, they go mental for it. If you go strawberries in, they go mental for it. If one of the chickens has has a cut, they will peck it to death. So you've got a purple spray, which covers it and changes the colour of it so they don't peck them. Honestly, they are vicious creatures at times, but they're also really, really funny. And in the summertime, it's lovely because you put them out on the run. They have lovely dust baths, so they will sit there and scratch themselves, and literally you'll see them with their feathers out sunbathing, and they'll just give these lovely little purrs of just comfort and joy. And you look at them and you think, we saved you. This is so cool. So if anybody had an allotment, a plot of land or something that they're happy to give up to chickens, rescue chickens, because they're wonderful and you get fresh eggs and they're brilliant. I love chickens.
Okay, so you take chickens from surviving to thriving.
Yeah, and then they die. But that's the circle of life, right? It's just
There's
what
a
happens.
lot of death brought up in this podcast. Dead artists, dead chickens, nearly dead chickens.
Death is an intrinsic part of life. Life would be very boring if you didn't have that end point, because otherwise you've got to live. You've got to live your life, because if you don't, you're just going to get the end and it's done.
Totally. And I think that, have you seen The Good Place?
No.
On Netflix?
No.
So that's basically about heaven and hell, effectively, the good place and the bad place.
Is that comedy?
Ted Danson.
Yes, I have seen some of it.
Oh my God. So that is a comfort watch for me. I know it's about 10 years old at this point, which I can't believe, but that to me is like comfort telly to the max. But the whole concept of is like, if you were in some kind of heaven and you lived but you were there forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, things seem like, how do you spend your days when you've been in heaven for like 800 years? You've done everything. What do you do now? I agree. So you got to have like a second death. This is a very deep podcast.
Well-
It went from chickens to death.
Well, again, I'm blaming this on you.
I'm enjoying this.
I just talked about the inevitability of animals dying, because they do, and it's very sad. I mean, so before I met Jane, my new wife, who I was still looking after 3 dogs for my ex-marriage.
Okay.
So we had an animal sharing agreement. It was like custody, but we shared custody of dogs, and slowly they got old, and we had 2 collies and a Samoyed, and eventually they passed away a couple of years ago. And the last one actually passed away, it would have been 2024 in November or December. And I turned around to Jane, my wife, last year around November time, and I said to her, I can't remember how Jackson died. Now, Jackson was our little white Samoyed, and he ended up with doggy dementia, which is a real thing. He just stands at a back door barking, and you don't know what's wrong. It's horrible. But he did eventually get so ill that we had to have him put to sleep. And I remember the days leading up to it, but I could not remember the actual day of taking him to the vets. I remember booking the appointment, and I couldn't remember a thing. And Jane had to say to me, "Oh no, do you remember? You sat in the back with him on your lap, and I drove us there." And it was like a barrier just shattered in my head, and suddenly I remembered the day clearly, and it kind of washed over me. And I ended up having a little cry for like 10 minutes on the sofa, because I was just like, oh God, I can't remember that. And apparently I'd suppressed it for a year. So instead of a year of grief, it all happened at once.
Well, hello there,
But it was very strange. That whole complete could not remember until I was reminded of it.
I think that's the thing, though, is that, like, with pets, they're not going to be there forever. And you put so much love and attention and money into these things that aren't going to be around forever.
And most importantly, I didn't want anyone listening to this to think I was an absolute heartless bastard, because I just talk about chickens dying like that.
Listener.
I was really upset when my dog died.
Yeah,
I'm just mildly put out when a chicken goes, because
Oh no, I remember my dad performed surgery on my goldfish once.
Did he really?
He did, and I was downstairs pacing in the waiting room, aka the living room, and then I heard the flush, and I was like, "No!"
Sorry, he didn't actually perform surgery.
He did.
How old were you?
He did. No, he really did. I remember it.
So what surgery did he do?
So there's a thing with goldfish. Granted, I'm not a goldfish expert.
So I've now got an image of your 6'4" dad giving mouth to mouth to a goldfish.
CPR with like his pinky finger. No,
he's got 2 little wires on a AA battery going clear.
It's just like, when fish gets cooked and it goes white.
Oh dear.
So I had 2 goldfish, Mickey and Minnie.
As you do.
And Mickey suffered a severe injury, which was while I was trying to. There was like something in its tank, and I got my little net and I tried to get this thing out. And as I pulled out,
you killed your fish.
No, I damaged him, because as I pulled the net out, I didn't realize that he was caught in the net, and I basically flung him across the room. And then the goldfish hit the wall, and I thought, he'll be fine. He'll just be a little bit like dazed. So then I put him back into the tank. He was like confused for a bit, and then he carried on just floating around as normal. I think I broke his spine. But do fish have spines? Yeah. But then he like started swimming funny and was struggling, and then apparently there's this thing, like, basically their organs fill with air if they've been exposed to air really quickly. So as he was flying through the air, and then so you can get a needle, put it in the goldfish's side and like deflate it, and then it will come back to life and be like, oh, all is well. So my dad tried to deflate my goldfish.
He tried to give your goldfish a chest tube.
Yes, he tried. He was a cardiothoracic surgeon.
It was like, yeah,
they're
coming along, they're looking in the ribs, going.
Oh, I've seen 22 seasons of Grey's Anatomy. I know what I'm talking about. So he
bravo. I mean, that is an achievement.
Well, he performed surgery.
She get like a little trophy or something for
that. Yes, in the shape of like a heart or a lung. But so he did that, and I think instead of carefully sort of removing the air, I think he just skewered it. And then it got flushed. And then I realised that goldfish really weren't really my future. I had Mickey and Minnie, Siegfried and Roy. I had all kinds. As SpongeBob and Patrick, all kinds, but none survived.
Oh, at least your parents didn't do that thing where they just replace it with a like for like, and you believe for most of your childhood that you've got a 19-year-old goldfish.
No, my mum hated animals, pets, so she just didn't. Like, all our pets had to be outdoors or in a tank, and that's how it remained. He barbecued my brother's lizard. I'm not doing a service to him here, but like, he left my brother had a leopard gecko called Spot, and he was in a tank. And I grew up in the southeast of England where the summers were hot. They were like easily 25 to 30 degrees. And he thought, oh, I know what, this lizard is a desert creature and it'll love to have a bit of sunlight. So he took the tank outside but left the lid on. So the tank basically got to about 5,000 degrees.
He baked. He baked your gecko.
He was like, I mean, for listeners at home, like a bear that's been stuffed, like kind of like mid-step, just
amazing.
baked, and then he was buried.
So like in the film The Mask, where he gets stopped, he kind of freezes halfway through running.
Yeah, it's like that,
nice.
and we basically buried him in a Daz box under the climbing frame.
Oh, classic.
And long may he rest. R.I.P. So yeah, I hope the RSPCA aren't listening.
I don't know, but see, I love hearing stories about things like this because I was listening to this does relate. I was listening to something the other day about dry stone walling. Don't ask me why. But there is a family in Yorkshire that's been dry stone walling for 400 years. They are like the preeminent experts of dry stone walling. They walk around Yorkshire and they basically can sit there and say, we built that, we built that, we built that. It's amazing. But dry stone wallers for centuries have always left little things in the walls for the next dry stone waller to come along. Things like, little clay pipes or a hobnail boot or something, just a little memento.
I love that.
And the son and daughter of the current kind of main dry stone waller there are now fully qualified. And she's the only woman, I think, to ever have received a master dry stone waller qualification or something, and she's loving it. But she leaves mobile phones in them, old mobile phones. So somewhere in Yorkshire, there's a dry stone wall with a Nokia 3210 hidden in it.
And it will survive forever.
But that's the most amazing thing. In 4,000 years' time, when we're all gone and the world's gone through changes, and somebody will be sitting there, time team. There'll be a Tony Robinson back then doing a time team, and they'll uncover this wall, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is a dry stone wall," and then they'll open it, and they'll be like, "We don't know why there's an old mobile phone in here."
You could build an entire wall out of Nokia 3210s, and it'd be fine.
Yeah.
It would survive some sort of major blast.
To be fair, there's a lot of things on the internet that show the Nokia 3210 is not as indestructible as Legacy has said it is.
Don't ruin my perception of the Nokia, whatever it is, because, like I said, it is on my list to go back to a button phone or a dumb phone for a while. But I'm thinking of doing a screen detox or like a tech detox, see how I go, and then see if I can handle it.
Well, you should do it. What's stopping you?
Because maybe I will thrive, not just survive when I've not got my phone on me all the time.
Well, maybe. I mean, the fact is you'll still have your work phone for all of your work social accounts.
Yeah, but you know what it is? I just don't want to. It's like the more I'm surrounded by technology for work and not work, the more I realise I am staring at screens all the time.
I agree.
All the time.
This weekend, something happened. I know.
You did your ironing.
I love the fact that you just... that was awesome. No, but something happened, and I couldn't believe that it had happened. Now, I try not to use a phone as much as possible, but I do, and we all do. We get used to doing things with a phone. And I was sitting in bed, and I was reading my New Scientist magazine. I know. And I was just sitting there in bed, New Scientist magazine, and I wasn't really reading. I was kind of half awake. Coffee hadn't kicked in yet. And I've got a magazine, and I've folded it over, so I've only got a one page, and it's all wrapped on, so I need to turn the page. And I went to swipe the page.
Oh my God.
I suddenly realised I tried to swipe a physical page.
Oh my God. Technology has ruined you. Who are you?
I don't know. And I like books, but I tried to swipe a real page, and I just thought...
I can top that because I have a 2-year-old who, when she looks at a physical book, she'll do the pinching zoom in motion. It's a thing. It's unfortunate. It's where we're going. The fact that my toddler knows how to use my phone better than I do is unnerving. But we've got to embrace it. But I think it's a choice.
See,
It's like I think technology has become my generation's smoking. Because I remember when I was a kid growing up, everyone who was an adult or a young adult when I was a kid everyone was smoking. There was a lot of smokers out there smoking all the time.
Does this mean that mobile phones are now going to start coming with really interesting images on?
But or with
like
warnings.
burnt out eyes.
Yeah. Bad necks from bending down. Yeah, but I
There's somebody with 2 teeth looking really dodgy.
Yeah, but people, that's me. But people think about I remember as a kid, people were smoking a lot, and I must quit smoking. Everyone smoked, but I think now everyone I talk to goes, I must quit social media. I must quit this, and it's exactly the same. It's an addiction, and I feel like I need to rein it in.
I don't think it's the phone. I think it's the social media.
Oh yeah, it's the I need something to look at.
I don't think you need to go to a dumb phone. I think you need to delete the apps.
Oh God! But then, how will I get my validation?
But it's not validation.
How will I look like I'm thriving when I'm really just surviving?
But it's not validation. It's all just algorithmic, and it's awful. So Twitter is terrible. So I don't do that anymore.
No,
I was on Threads for a little bit, and then
no one knows what that is.
Well, it's a Twitter wannabe.
It's a boring Instagram.
But a week ago, I looked at one post about the latest ice shooting in America, and then from that week, all I ever saw was posts about the ice shooting. So I deleted the app. Yeah. Because the algorithms is now just saying, oh, he obviously wants to do that. And I'm like, well, no, the last 17 things I looked at were photography based, but for some reason you're pushing ice.
Because it's topical. But also,
and it's American. But
also I would say as well is that Threads is just an Instagram without the fun. It's just literally just words.
But even Instagram isn't that fun anymore.
But I find that I'm leaning more towards mediums of content that... if I look back at my career where I've spent years peddling the line that you have to be on social media as a business to do X, Y, and Z. Social media is integral to everything, blah, 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 blah. And it is important, but it's important the way other forms of content are important. It's important in the way you do your branding. It's important in the way you do your logo and all this stuff. But it's not like your business is going to fail if you don't use social media. And I think it relies on other forms of content, like the podcast, like YouTube channels, like a good website, all this stuff. Yeah, and being a good person.
I would argue for someone like me who's trying to sit there and build a photography kind of career, looking at different types of photography, then visual social medias is important.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, as a portfolio.
I think for someone in a position like you in your business, you could do nothing on those and just do LinkedIn. And that would be enough.
Oh yeah, because it's got to be what works for you. Yeah. It's not like you have to be on everything all the time. And that's where I fell short and was just surviving, back to our title. Ages ago.
You've done this before.
I'm a professional. Can you tell? I am a professional human.
I am not. Can you tell?
But that's when I was literally just surviving. When I was like, oh my God, I got to post across 50 different things all the time. Oh my God. But we've now just decided, yeah, people like us here and people like us there. So we're going to go there. We're not going to go everywhere. Not sound like a hokey cokey sort of situation, but you've got to go where your audience is. And that's pretty much it. But we've talked about
everything.
Yeah. Chickens, pretty pets,
much. Yeah.
The meaning of life.
Yeah.
Content creation.
I have something completely random to finish on though.
Oh, okay. I have a joke to finish on.
Okay, well we'll do the joke after my bit. Okay. Just because that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah.
So
you're in charge?
Yes. The metal aluminium.
Aluminum.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh, this gets me so angry.
Okay, yeah, carry on.
So, it's not aluminum though, is it?
No, I know it's not. Carry on.
It's aluminium.
Who's aluminium?
Aluminium.
Okay, who carry on?
Okay. So there was a comedian on the other day and I was very, very happy.
Aluminium?
Oh, good God.
Yes.
I get very annoyed.
Yes.
Because I was mocked, like you're doing now, terribly for saying aluminium at my old work. Because they insisted it was aluminium all the time, saying there were 2 A's in it. Even though I wrote it out for them and it wasn't, I was still mocked for pronouncing aluminium correctly.
Aluminium?
Yes.
Okay.
Because it's aluminium.
Okay.
It's not aluminium. Okay. It's not aluminum. It's aluminium.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But it reminded me the other day because there was an English comedian on Live at the Apollo And he said it correctly, and I was so happy because somebody actually pronounced it correctly. And it just really bugs me because I think I've been scarred mentally quite badly by being bullied about this word.
So I think you are 100% in the surviving camp this week.
Yeah, probably.
I
also still don't know how you pronounce it.
How do you say the word issue?
It's an issue.
You say issue.
Yes.
How do you say suit?
Suit.
You don't say suit.
No, I don't say suit.
Because some people say issue. But I'm called Izzy, so does that make me Issy or
Issy?
Issy?
No, you're only Issy to people with lisps.
Or what's his name? Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
So,
okay. What time does Andy Murray go to bed?
I don't know.
10ish.
Okay.
Oh, see?
I got a terrible thesaurus the other day. It is terrible.
Oh dear, that is bad.
I
I quite like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah,
It's a highbrow joke.
that's my kind of joke.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So to round off then, this week, do you consider yourself thriving or surviving? And what are your hopes for next week? Will you be thriving or surviving?
Oh, this week I've been surviving. Next week I hope that I am. I was going to try and roll the R there, and it didn't work. I'm going to thrive next week.
I think this week I am pretty much.
I mean, it's your question. You should have the answer. Come
No,
on.
I never have the answer. This is why I'm here. I am somewhat surviving. Next week, I hope to be abso-flippin'-lutely thriving. And that's it.
Excellent.
Have we finished this episode?
I think we have, because now we're just going down the route of pretending
Insanity.
we have speech impediment,
Yes.
which is quite insulting for
Right.
people that do.
Okay.
So apologies to anybody who has a speech.
Well, there we go. How'd you find that?
It was fun.
Okay, that's it.
We talked a lot.
Done.